Well, welcome everyone. It's wonderful to see you all coming on the line. Welcome to our coaching cafe. It's Natalie Ashdown here with you as always. And today our topic is I don't have 10 minutes to myself. And it's wonderful to see you all coming on the line because we're taking out not 10 minutes, but 30 minutes to focus on ourselves, which is wonderful. So before I begin, I'd like to do the acknowledgement of country and acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians on the lands on which we meet today. We're meeting virtually all across Australia and internationally, which is wonderful. And we acknowledge their continuing connections to the lands, waters and communities of Australia. We pay our respects to them and to their elders past, present and emerging, and anyone who might be on the line with us today. So our agenda for today, we want to talk about this topic where I'm hearing it a lot in the executive coaching that I'm doing. People just don't have 10 minutes to myself, don't have 10 minutes of time to myself. So I want to just have a chat to you about what gets in our way and the cost of this, what it's costing us from a workplace point of view. We can talk about from a coaching perspective. As you know, there's a lot of experienced coaches on the line. So let's talk about what it means from a coaching point of view. And then let's just give ourselves a chance to practice some calm and mindfulness. Let's take those 10 minutes. I can see all the people coming on the line. We've done this together before, and we did this not last week, the week before. I think it was absolutely wonderful. So let's just practice as coaches our presence and our mindfulness and take 10 minutes together. That's our aim for today. We, as you know, are all about creating community, sharing that learned experience, having thought-provoking conversations. If you're new to our coaching cafes, welcome. The way we interact is via the chat box, so please feel free to pop your messages into the chat. Comments, messages, questions you have. It's really interactive and I really enjoy it, and we all really enjoy it. And of course, welcome back to all the regulars. I love Friday afternoons, as you know. I love connecting for our half hour together. It stretches my thinking, it stretches my learning by working with you. So it's really terrific. Thank you. Of course, if you are collecting ICF CCEUs, just send a message to us at support@opendoorcoaching.com.au and we can send you the CCEU certificates for today. We have got a little bit of a backlog actually because of what we've got on our plate, but don't worry, if you send us a message, we will get that certificate to you, no problems. Rightio, so what gets in our way? I was looking for an image and I love this image. This way to Homework Avenue, this way to Procrastination Park. I just thought that was terrific. So what gets in our way for just taking this 10 minutes out of our day? I was trying to do some reflection on this for myself. I finished a meeting early yesterday, like at 10 to the hour. It's like 10 to 3. And I had just finished all the prep for today's coaching cafe. And I thought, let's walk the talk. Let's take the 10 minutes right now before the next meeting. And all of a sudden there was a flood of things that I thought I could have done rather than just sit for mindfulness and sit quietly for 10 minutes. Good news is I did it. I'd sat for about 8 minutes after, mucking around for 2 minutes. But I just thought, what stops us from actually just taking that 10 minutes that we need to refresh, to re-energize, to refocus? So feel free to hit the chat box and tell me what you think that's actually stopping us for doing what we know actually we need to do, which is just take those 10 minutes out. So hit the chat box, tell me what you think. Here's some of the things that I came up with. I'm hearing in our executive coaching, one lady in particular said she feels compelled to help people. So because she feels compelled to help people all the time, she can't just take 10 minutes for herself. Now that then translates into people within the workplace, it translates into home life and relationships, etc., etc. So I can really relate to that. I can really understand that. Diana says, hi, everyone. That's really great. Sonia says, trying to complete everything at once. Yes, I find that myself, Sonia. I have a rapid fire list of stuff that I need to do. And, you just start to have to work on that to-do list. I agree. Kim says the demands of others interrupting. Yes, so the knocking on the door, the interruptions, it just seems like there's not 10 minutes to yourself. Very important in our coaching too, because this has been a theme in the coaching, particularly with a million Zoom meetings and all this sort of thing. There seems to be a heightened sense with the executives that I'm coaching that they just do not have time for ourselves. So something to be aware of when we're doing our coaching. Um, Ian, thanks. Great to see you. He says failure to see end points for projects and the to do. Sorry, the end point. Yeah, failure to see the end point for projects and a massive list of to dos. Yeah. Petra, I agree with you. Other people's urgent sometimes is not yours. So I wrote that. Yeah, their situation, what gets in our way is their situation's more urgent or pressing. Yeah, I totally agree. Kim agrees with you as well. Experienced it just this morning. Yeah, I'm with you. I like how our coaching cafe is alive and practical. We are talking about what's happened this week or this morning. Absolutely. Annika says that she gets in her own way. Absolutely. The stuff that goes on in my brain that gets in my way. Yeah. Chris says demands of work, co-workers delivering the end result. But we need to realize that a short break sometimes improves our efficiency and improves our output. Now, that's what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're aiming for today. Thank you. Jeanette says technology and the expectation to respond immediately. Yes, so we've introduced Teams into our work environment, and now, which is wonderful because it decreases the amount of email that we're sending to each other, but that rapid response to the messages coming through on Teams, we're noticing as well. Lynn, thank you. She says, a long list of things to do, just keep staring at us. Yes. Do you know what I did during the week? Started putting them on post-it notes in front of my screen. So I'm with you on that one. Diana, yeah, says Zoom meetings back to back and then working late to finish emails. That is definitely going on. You're not alone in that thinking. So I thank you for sharing, everybody. I really agree. Procrastination gets in our way. I'm thinking about procrastination when there's something really important that we have to do, but let's face it, we're not particularly energized by it. So rather than kind of sitting for 10 minutes in mindfulness and refocusing so we can get on with it, we procrastinate, we do a whole pile of other different things. So that happens. Guilt. So we can talk about guilt in all sorts of manners, can't we? I'm seeing this a bit in the coaching that I'm doing. I feel guilty. I actually feel guilty just taking this time out for myself because of insert a million other things to do. So I think you know, most of us that have grown up with that work ethic, you know, I think sometimes our work ethic and guilt, like we can't do this, actually gets in our way. So it's good, I think, what I noticed is it's good to catch ourselves, actually, catch ourselves. What are we saying to each other? And what a brilliant question then to offer the people that you're coaching. So what are we saying to ourselves, or what are we doing? Catch ourselves in that moment and go, what's happening right now? So I think I should spend this next 10 minutes just refocusing and practicing some mindfulness. Then catch yourself and work out what is the flood of stuff that happens afterwards. And I did this yesterday, and it's like I could spend 10 minutes right now, 9 minutes, 8 minutes while I think about it. Or I could smash out a few emails and get that out of the way. So it is really, really valuable, I think, to catch ourselves in the moment and find out what's happening. And it's a brilliant coaching question to ask your clients as well, the people that you're coaching in the workplace and around you, to find out in that moment, catch ourselves and find out what's going on. So a little tip there. So what's the cost? You know, we've been looking at and delivering the mental health first aid programs here at Open Door, and and it's wonderful because there's so many people that are joining the program now in mental health first aid. It's just so fulfilling to be able to share the information about mental health first aid, and to look, the cost is actually significant. So for those of you that have tapped into those webinars, we know that 1 in every 5 Australians suffer from mental illness in any one year, and the cost of not taking this time out is that it can lead into signs of mental illness within us and within the people we're working with in the workplace. So something to be aware of. The Black Dog Institute actually said that the Australian economy loses approximately 12 billion actually per year in reduced productivity, sickness and absence related to mental health issues. So I have this little idea that if we could all just take this extra piece of mindfulness out, I wonder over time, as it all adds up, whether we might be able to, who knows, address some of this mental health uh, illnesses that we've got in the workplace. But if we can't, address the whole 12 billion, let's just address it for ourselves and make sure that we're focused on our mental health. And of course, that will then flow on to others as well. As leaders, as coaches, it is about walking our talk here. And I stand here saying, yesterday I had to walk, I had to walk my talk. So, oh, thanks, Ian. He says the mental health first aid course is invaluable to coaches, in my humble opinion. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Laura. You've completed the program as well, and she says it's invaluable. Yeah, so that's wonderful. Thank you for saying that. There's so that's the research. There's lots of research actually on the need to do this and addressing mental health in the workplace. But we know from anecdotal evidence too, don't we? We do know that people that we work with, people that we've been connected to, we do know that there's a lot of people that are actually needing to take this time out to address our mental health. That's what we're really focusing on. Alrighty, so the benefits. Shall we roll into the chat box, the benefits? There's lots, isn't there? And just looking at this picture too, I could just look at this picture and all of a sudden I feel calm. So, I'm saying 10 minutes. I'm not fussy, let's talk about 2 minutes out. Let's just sit for a minute. Let's take, 5 minutes, whatever it is. It's just that minute. And for me, just even looking at this picture just makes me feel calm and is a little moment of time. So that's great. So what are the benefits that we're seeing by just taking this time out? You can hit the chat box and tell me what you're noticing. Kim, yeah, I agree. Calmer, relaxed mindset, ability to refocus. I think those things are really important to me. It's finishing one thing and refocusing. A reset, Petra, yes. Sonia says acknowledgement of the challenges allows you to look for ways to address the issue and normalizes challenges. Yes, so mindfulness teaches us not to push them away, but to actually sit with them, acknowledge them, sitting on the balcony going, okay, this is what's going on. Let's just focus on that. Let's just understand what's happening and then we can move. Yeah, calm, quiet, rejuvenation. I agree with you, Tanya. Yeah. Yeah. So there is a growing body of research that this mindfulness, this 10 minutes out, thank you, Diana. She says it reduces anxiety and stress. Spot on. There you go. You wrote the presentation for me. It improves our attention and our memory. It promotes self-regulation and empathy. This is really important. So I just came off the phone to a person who's wanting to look at our Leader as Coach program, and they were talking about the need to coach and also to include in the discussion setting goals for ourselves, self-regulation, empathy, coaching others. So all of that was coming into the discussion. Ian says, had to calm down before an important webinar when the internet failed. Oh, yes. Yes, a great example. So you had to calm down before an important webinar when the internet failed. And he says deep tummy breathing was perfect to calm down. So that's excellent, because that's exactly what we're talking about, using that deep tummy boxed breathing. It's used in the armed forces, it's used in emergency services, it's used to regulate our, our heightened sense when the amygdala and the cortisol starting to pump into our bodies. Ross says better work output afterwards. I 100% agree with you. I find that if I'm able to do this at any time during the day before I'm working on something big, refocuses you. Gillian says at work we've been talking about taking time to savor the moment, feel the warmth of the coffee cup, inhale, enjoy the aroma, and then sip it rather than gulp it. That's such a great recommendation. That's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about mindfulness. So also lovely to do with a little bit of dark chocolate. And Ian says he loves that word savor. Yes, so a little bit of dark chocolate, don't munch it. Just let it melt on your tongue. We're all going to have to run out and get dark chocolate now. But the same thing with coffee. Smell it, sip it, savor the moment. Yeah. And that could be a 3-minute ritual. That's wonderful. Research, lots of research on brain scans, brain functioning, how it makes a difference. We've noticed changes in our clients. I've had a couple of clients that have had dramatic changes. They were like a wound up rubber band about to snap, just keep winding and winding and winding. And introducing some mindfulness and boxed breathing. Like I had one client who said it's like magic, and then the next session he said, so what's the next magic thing you're going to share with me? I said, well, coaching blah 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 comes from you, answer solutions from within you. He said, no, I want the magic. I'm like, okay. Yeah, just teaching him to breathe was excellent. So we don't have to be prescriptive about how we do this. That's why I really enjoy what you've written there, Gillian, around we don't have to be prescriptive about how we take this time out. Let's do it over the coffee and savor the moment. Let's go for the walk around the block. Let's do some quiet sitting for a minute or two, whatever it might be. Punch out a few squats, do a couple of sit-ups, whatever it is, just whatever it takes, just to give that bit of time back to yourself. It doesn't have to be 10. It could be 6. It could be 3 minutes. It could be whatever. It all adds up. So, yeah. What we do have to be, I think, though, is disciplined and consistent. So what gets in our way, I think, is our discipline and our consistency. So we need to be doing this regularly, not just, I did it for a couple of days and then I haven't done it for a month. It's whatever we can do to build this consistent practice makes a massive difference. Kim says, set a mindfulness, Kim offers, they've set a mindfulness challenge to do 10 minutes of mindfulness meditation each day during lockdown. I'm sharing this with everyone for accountability. Great. So Kim, a regular to our coaching cafes, we will check in on you next Friday, find out what's going on with your challenge. Taking a break, having a break, not working on your email. Absolutely, Ian, I agree. The email can wait, but just refocusing has a massive effect on us. Yeah. Alrighty. The practice adds up. This is not my latest stats, but these were the stats through that I had from Coach Week. I think some of you have seen these. So I started mindfulness about a year and a half ago, actually really practicing it in January a couple of years ago, and so I haven't done it every single day, but I love a streak. So Coach Week, I was up to 370 days. Now I'm up to 429. So I broke my streak, and so now I've started a new streak. But look at this, over 5,000 minutes I've been able to clock just by doing 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes on the way to work, on the way home from work, during the day, before bedtime. It blows my mind how it all adds up, really. This is the app I'm using. I'm not getting any commission or anything. I just really relate to this Dan Harris's story. I love his book called 10% Happier, and I love the app. It's got lots of different meditations and mindfulness practices for a lot of different things. All right, come on, everybody. Let's not just talk about it. Let's do it together, shall we? So, for those of you that haven't done boxed breathing together, let's do some boxed breathing together. This is the technique that emergency services use, defence forces use, our fighter jet pilots use, and little old me, I use this technique as well. Let's do it together. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in, then we're going to hold our breath, and then we're going to breathe out, and then we're going to hold our breath again, like a box. We're going to breathe in for 4 counts. We're going to hold for 4 counts. We're going to breathe out for 4 counts, and we're going to hold for 4 counts. So what I'm going to do is talk you through it, and then I'm going to hand it over to you. So I'll start us off with the practice as we do this together, and then I'll hand it over to you and we'll do it. There'll be just silence on the line as we do this as a community together. I'm just looking at the number of people on the line. It's brilliant we can do this. So I'll hand it over to you, and then we'll come back together to finish off our time. So I'm looking at the time. We're not even going to do 10 minutes. We might do 7. Who knows? Let's see how far we can go together. All right, everyone. So let's get comfortable. You can do this practice with your eyes open or your eyes closed. You can do this practice together standing up. I'm standing up at the moment. You can sit down. If you're standing, just acknowledge, just notice your 2 feet on the floor. Just be nice and even across the weight on your feet. If you're sitting, just notice your feet on the floor. Notice your bottom on your seat and your back against the back of the chair. And as we just take this moment together as a coaching community, as an alumni, just to practice our walking our talk around this, or sitting our talk, I should say. And what we're going to do, as you bring your awareness to your feet on the floor, perhaps the seat supporting you, hands resting softly, soften that jaw. Just draw your attention to your breath now. That's the way. And when you're ready, we're just going to breathe in together. So let's breathe in together for 4. So in, 2, 3, 4, and hold that breath. 2, 3, 4. Deep breath out for 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. Now in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. That's the way. Keep it going. 2, 3, 4. Hold. And out. 3, 4, and hold. In, allowing noises to be there. Out. and over to you. In let noises be in the background. Thoughts can come and go. Dings and beeps. Just in the background. Just taking this time for ourselves. We're sitting the talk on this. Thoughts can come and go. Plenty of time to look after it later. Refocusing on our breath together. In right from the toes. Breathe out all the way down through your body, through your toes. Nothing wrong with the technology, we're all still here. And when you're ready, or if you don't want to, you can just stay there. But when you're ready, you can open your eyes, you can orientate yourself to the world around you. Come back into the room. Or if you don't want to, just stay in that beautiful bubble. That's the way. So if you'd like to share how you felt just in that practice, please feel free to pop a message in the chat box. That was about 5 minutes, 34 seconds, just sitting and breathing. 5 minutes, 34 seconds, yeah. I feel the same, Petra, relaxed. Kim feels calmer. Relaxed and calm, focused. Yeah, that's right. Thanks, Samantha. And I don't mind if some of you aren't responding because you want to stay in that spot as well. Yeah, more peaceful, just lowering. Thanks, Ian. Just lowering the energy, coming back into our bodies, being nice and calm, ready to take on the second half of my day. That's so great to hear, Amy. I agree. Lynn says she slowed down. So she said my breathing into 4 and I'd only reached 2. That's really interesting because I actually thought that I was going a bit fast and I slowed it down as well. So yes, Ian, it's always nice to take that little, it feels like you've had a nap, I think sometimes, doesn't it? Because you've just refocused and re-energized. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm very focused on slowing things down because a lot of us work at a rapid pace. And so for me, it is about slowing down for sure. Beautiful. Well, thank you for your practice. You know, this time together is about practicing, whether we're practicing our coaching tools or our coaching skills or practicing our mindfulness together. I'm really grateful, actually. So grateful to have the opportunity to come together with an amazing alumni that you all are to do mindfulness. We know it has a massive return on investment for ourselves and the people around us. It increases our productivity and our high performance. So I'm just so pleased we can come together. Gail says she feels great. First face-to-face team meeting next week, so I'll do it at the meeting. Thank you. That's great. That's so great to hear. I'm so glad I stayed and focused and got through IT challenges to get on the call. Yes. Great. Lynn says a great reminder that we do need to take time out and slow down, be calmer, achieve more. Yeah, that's what I think it's all about, isn't it? So I challenge you now, and I challenge myself. Next time we've got that 3 minutes, 6 minutes between a meeting or on the way to a meeting, if you happen to be traveling on the way to wherever it might be, take that time, just that 3 minutes, the 6 minutes, whatever it might be. Let's really not be those people that say, I don't have 10 minutes for myself. And then when we do that, we can apply it to our coaching and make a difference there as well. Ian says, challenge accepted. Same. I throw out these challenges for us, but mostly for myself, as you know. Thank you. Thanks, Diana. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Oh, Diana says she used to do it before taking to the field to play sport. Brilliant. I really relate to that. I like to do this before I do any big presentation. I like to do like a 30 seconds of mindfulness before I start coaching. I I like to do this before I actually start a coaching cafe. So it's that grounding, just 2 rounds, 3 rounds of boxed breathing. That makes such a difference. Yeah. Terrific. Well, happy Friday, everyone. Thank you for your practice. I look forward to catching up with you next week, same time, same place. And thanks as always for your wonderful interaction. It's terrific. Thank you, Julie. She says she loves my soothing voice. I soothe myself. It's like I have this kind of out of body experience as I listen to myself. So yeah, that's really lovely. Fantastic. And I'm so glad you needed it, Catherine. Yeah, I think we all do, don't we? Yeah, that's wonderful. Good on you.